What is up, my brothers from another mother and my rational sisters from another mister? Today's video is going to be a little bit different. I've pandered to and catered to guys for a long time on this channel, 300 plus videos. And along the way, a lot of women have started watching the videos because I've been giving tips and they've said things in the comments and in private messages to me. Like, I watch your stuff because I want to know the cold hard truth. So, ladies, I appreciate you for opening, the scope of your vision to the cold hard truth and consuming the red pill for those of you that have. I've had questions from ladies asking me to do a video on tips for ladies. So this one will be good for you. It'll also still be good for the guys because I'm pretty sure the way I'm going to deliver this, you're going to like it too, fellas, and want to share it on social media and Facebook and that sort of stuff. So I got a question here, which I'm just going to read to kind of segue in. She goes, hi, Richard. I've been watching your videos for a while. Really enjoy your content. As a result, have had some similar questions as some of your male subscribers on Facebook. In addition to describing an ideal woman, I would like to hear your thoughts, advice on how red pill rational women can create a real connection with a man without all the feminism, BS, trickery, deceit, games, as well as filter through the brainwashed beta males. Personally, I see women try to trap men all the time, but what about females that don't want to do that? What's your advice for her? Okay, so first of all, I'm not going to do a advice column or here's my top 10 things that I think women should do. Instead, what I did was I compiled a list from my own experience, from the experience of men that I've coached on the clarity.fm platform. Link on the top of the screen if you'd like to book a call with me and chat. It does help support the channel. So let's dive right into it. I've compiled a list of things that you should stop doing. Often I find in life, if you want to become a better version of yourself quicker, it's a lot easier to stop doing certain things or fix certain behaviors that are getting you crappy results. You want better results? Make better choices. Update your belief system. So let's dive right into it. First one. I've got 11 here for you today. First one, and stay right till the end because the last one's my favorite. Your expectations are completely unrealistic in a partner, when you're looking for a guy. Esther Perel, who wrote a very fascinating book called Mating in Captivity is what it's called, and she's basically taken her 30, 40 years of marriage counseling experiences and compiling all these stories. And my big takeaway from that was people have enormously, massive expectations of their partners to satisfy needs. For a very long time, there was an entire community or a village that would placate us, that would placate our needs. Now, with this extreme version of monogamy that we try to use today, we want to distill it all into one person. We want them to be strong, compassionate, kind, alpha, beta, be able to provide, cook, clean, blah, blah, blah. And I have this massive list. And it's no possible man or woman can live up to your list of unrealistic expectations. So one of the things that you can stop doing is stop expecting, a huge list to be ticked off when seeking a partner. I was at a dinner party a number of years ago. I was the only single guy there at the time with all these couples, and all my friends' wives kind of pulled me aside and they're like, oh, we want to introduce you to our friends, and da-da-da-da, and they started talking about the 6 6s. And I'd never heard this phrase called the 6 6s. So I'll go through it. I talked about this a number of months ago. 6 6s are 6-pack abs, 6-figure income, 6 feet tall, 6 inches in the pants, 600 horsepower car, and 6 months out of a relationship. That's a pretty extensive list that women want to see in boxes ticked off. So just check your expectations a little bit, ladies. Number 2, you're unfit and have smashed the wall. This one came from quite a few subscribers in my comments. I did a video called Sexual Marketplace Value and the Wall, card on the top right of the screen. Check it out. If you've partied too hard, drank too much, did too many drugs, smoked too many cigarettes, then the age at which you hit the wall, for most women it's around 30, happens a lot sooner. And it happens a lot harder, and it's not pleasant. You don't look as good as you think you do. If you're fat, and I'm just going to say this, if you're overweight, you're unattractive. Men are success objects to women. This is not me. This is studies done, specifically from Dr. Warren Farrell, who was a feminist and a women's advocate. He speculated, he noticed that men are success objects to women, but women are sex objects to men. It's just a fact of life. So if you don't have the sexual appeal to men, i.e. you're fat or out of shape, you're not going to be desirable. So taking care of your vessel, the body that you're in, it's the only one that we get, taking care of yourself, self-care matters. Exercise, eat good food, that sort of stuff matters. I had a bunch of comments that I collected from my male audience on tips. I'm not even going to say the last one, but he was basically talking about women really going downhill at a certain point. But check out the SMV video. There's a lot of tips in there that I think you get some value from. Number 3, you've got way too many kids. If you've got 3 kids from 2 or 3 different fathers, you've got baby mama or baby daddy drama. You've got baby daddy girlfriends or wives that are coming in the picture. You've got special needs kids. Guys don't want to deal with another man or men's offspring. It creates all kinds of challenges and struggles. If if you've got them now, there's not much you can do about it. You can obviously become a strong, virtuous, incredible parent and find the right partner for that. But there's not a lot of guys that want to spend a considerable amount of time with a woman or long-term LTR, long-term relationship with a woman that's got multiple kids, especially from multiple fathers. Makes sense. Number 4, you've got too much baggage. The cluster B women, the cluster B sort of category. Personality disorders are categorized by dramatic, overly emotional, or unpredictable thinking or behavior. They include antisocial personality disorders, borderline personality disorders, narcissistic personality disorders, and unstable personality disorders. There's a test you can take online called the Dark Triad. It'll give you some indication if you have any of these personality disorders. I can't tell by making this video, but my experience in dating and coaching a lot of the guys that I've dealt with and reading through a lot of the comments on people that comment on my videos is there tend to be a lot of women that are either borderline or unstable in one of those 2 categories. There's not a lot of guys that fall into that. The borderlines usually come from fear of abandonment or abandonment issues when they're kids. I did a video about the 3 types of women that you'd like to avoid dating. I'll put a card up on the top right. Again, cold hard truth bombs. They're not warm and fuzzy and sugar coated, but you should be aware of them. There's stuff that you can do about stuff if you've got baggage, okay? You can talk to psychotherapists. You can seek counseling and help and work on yourself. You really can work on yourself. It's not, you should just tolerate it, and yeah, you're a bad person, and stomp off. Take ownership for yourself. Take ownership for it and get rid of the baggage, Number 5, you're broke. Straightforward. If you haven't got a pot to piss in or a window to throw it out of, you're broke. And most guys don't want to save a woman. I've noticed a general trend in a lot of my comments, again, on the stuff that I talk about in my videos. They call it this Captain Save-A-Ho mentality. Guys don't want to run around saving random women. We take care of ourselves. We take care of our offspring. We do that, right? But if you're not financially secure, you're going to have a hard time attracting a quality guy, okay? Number 6, your circle of influence sucks. You've got loser friends or you're queen of the degenerates. I've said this before in my videos to guys. You become the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. If you spend time with 5 broke people, you're going to be the 6th. If you spend time with 5 fat people, you're going to be the 6th. If you spend time with 5 people that nag and complain and whine all the time, you're going to be the 6th. These people are energy vampires, and if you want a top-shelf rational male, you need to ditch the zeros and get with the heroes. It's as simple as that. Guys, pay attention to these things, especially if they're watching my videos. Number 7, you are a feminist or social justice warrior, blah, 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 whatever, fill in the blank. If you've got short hair, you're fat, face piercings, and your hair's purple, you're probably a feminist, okay? So guys don't want to date women like that. We want a woman. We want somebody that has curves, that sends off the sexual characteristics and cues that men have liked for millions of years, okay? You can put on a pink pussy hat and march down the street and tell people that everything should, you should be loved for your size and body positivity image and blah, blah, blah. The fact of the matter is, we don't care, okay? I don't need to go into that one too far. Number 8, you're a crazy cat lady or an animal rescue nut bar. If I walk into your apartment, house, condo, wherever you live, and the place smells like a fucking zoo, you're going to have a hard time attracting a quality man. And don't laugh because I've done it. Number 9, you take no ownership for your shit in life. So if everything that went wrong in your life was everybody else's fault but your own, you need to take ownership for what goes on in your life. I can always tell what somebody's belief system looks like because their choices will govern their results. So all I got to do is look at your results. And if your results suck, then I know you make crappy choices, which means your belief system is broken. Take ownership for things in your life if they don't work and become a better version of yourself. Number 10, you're a gold digger. Hypergamy doesn't care. We've been talking about that for a while on this channel now. You know, I get that women tend to marry, date up. It's just a fact of life. There's a line in the sand they don't cross, which is why, you know, somebody that is making $100,000 a year as a woman is not going to date somebody that makes $50,000 a year as a guy. It just doesn't happen. But it's perfectly acceptable and normal for a woman making 50 grand to date a guy that makes $100,000 a year. That's fine. But if you're a complete gold digger and you have unrealistic expectations of men to buy you shit all the time, shoes, handbags, jewelry, blah, blah, blah. Hey, you know what? There's a demographic of older guys that can't get attractive women that might have a lot of money that are willing to pander to that. You can go down that alley. But I can tell you from experience and with the experience that I've had coaching guys, we don't really like gold diggers. And the last one, which is my favorite, and probably I'd say the most detrimental thing to women, you know, getting a top shelf red pill type of guy is you have an overinflated sense of self-worth. Oh man, okay, I'm going to spend some time on this one. Social media whores. You know, you ladies on the social media platforms sharing, you know, unrealistic and ridiculous pictures, trying to hold out to the public of who you are and what you look like is a joke because, listen, ladies, we know that social media is just a little soundbite. It's a little, you know, it's a little tiny fragment in your day. You know, the ladies that will take pictures of their kids holding ice cream cones. Oh, look at my awesome kids and they're so awesome. That's 1 second of the day. We know that, you know, for the majority of the day, they're pounding the crap out of each other and the ice cream cone went on the other kid's head and it spilled inside of the car and there's a fucking mess everywhere and the Cheerios went everywhere. We know, okay? You know, you can take a picture of yourself. We know the aerial shots and how you ladies do this. Picture your shot, aerial shot with a low cut top down the boobies. We know what you're doing there, okay? We know, okay? You think that you've got this incredible amount of worth to you, and that you deserve the 6'6" in these top shelf women, or sorry, men. You know, there was this woman that one time said to me, oh, you know, we're just living our fabulous life, drinking our wine and being fabulous and shit. And it's like, she basically placed herself as like, you know, I don't know, let's say an 8 out of 10 or something like that, but she was like a 5 out of 10. And you have to look in the mirror and have a realistic, you know, lens in which you view yourself. A friend of mine once told me that you don't want to date 2 deviation points outside of your category. So if you're an 8 out of 10, you can maybe date up to a 10 out of 10 or like a 6 out of 10, but you're not going to go for like a 4 out of 10. So take a realistic look at yourself and understand what your value is and date in that category. Don't try to go too far out of it or try to hold out to the public that you're beyond that. We see, like, ladies, here's the thing. Ladies try to claim that guys are, you know, big liars and dogs and blah, blah, blah. Lately, guys are starting to hold themselves to the same standards that women do, but women are bigger liars than men. You know, you lie about your height by wearing high heels. You lie about your looks by wearing things like special kinds of underwears and bras and Spanx. You know, you lie about your looks and your youth by dyeing your hair blonde or, you know, lightening and that sort of thing, and your earrings and your jewelry and your lipstick and your shades and your eyeshadows and your eyelashes and blah, blah, blah. I could go on and on. The fake boobies and everything. We know. So understand what your self-worth is and roll with it. Anyway, I know I'm going to get some hate from this video. Leave a comment below. Gentlemen, share this with the ladies in the world that should probably be seeing this message. And of course, if there's some rational women out there, I'd really like to hear your feedback and your comments below. Smash the like button, hit subscribe, and again, share this with somebody that needs to see it. Thanks for checking out today's video. Have an awesome one, rational ladies. Peace.